So this little guy is not going to be very little for much longer. We really need to get this trellis sorted. Last year we painted the house and that trellis had to be taken down. It was in very poor condition, so we didn't put it back up once the painting was done. Now there are various ways you can overcomplicate this thing, but I think we can replicate the old one and make a very quick and easy build. So why don't we head over to the barn and get started? Now, I have the old one stashed over there, so why don't we dig that one out and have that as a reference. This thing has been up on the wall for many decades. Now, it's a very simple construction and you don't need to make it more complicated than this. When they built it, they probably just slapped one coat of paint on it and mounted it on the wall. And it's been fine ever since. I don't know how many decades it was up, but it was many. But now, it's time to make its successor. And I'm not gonna overcomplicate things here either. I have this thing that I've milled. About 2 weeks ago now, and I think we can use this. Let's just see how long we want to make it and cut this down into more manageable size. Okay. One thing I didn't take into account when cutting this is knot holes. But yeah, I have one of these that doesn't have a big knot hole halfway through it. But yeah, let's see how it holds up. Let's just rip this one down to strips as well, and then we should have everything we need. Now you'll notice I did cut these shorter first. So before I ripped them, I went to the miter saw and just quickly chopped them down to the length that I want these shorter pieces to. And I might also have to pick and choose one or two of these longer ones to chop down to. I haven't counted how many of these I need. And there's also the fact of the knot holes. So let me just show you what I mean with wanting to avoid the knot holes. When we have pieces like this that have a knot going straight through it, covering basically the entire width of the piece, it becomes very weak because the knot just isn't very strong. What ends up, if you put any load in this, and this is pretty much where I want to nail it too, but let's just see, how much force does it take to break it, do you think? Almost nothing. It's the same thing with these longer pieces, and they're holding the entire thing together, so if they break, the entire thing breaks. So here's one that I'm definitely not going to use as one of the longer pieces. So yeah, we have a knot here. Pretty sure if I just, yeah, I didn't even have to push hard. No, that was a lever action, but it broke right on the center of the knot. So yeah, that's not a coincidence. Like you see, it broke straight at the center of the knot. And that's also why you want to avoid the pith, the very center of the tree, as much as you can, because that's the weakest part and the least stable part of the log. If you have the choice, avoid knot holes as well as the pith. Like this is just the pith of the branch that was growing here. Now, let's sort through the remaining ones and see what we want to use. Now, I told you these were milled about 2 weeks ago. So this is green lumber, but this is quite thin and it's been fairly windy. And let's see, what's the moisture content like? Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, 17%. So yeah, well, this is about 17%, which might be considered quite high, and I certainly wouldn't use this for anything that goes indoors, but this is not far off from the actual what was it called, the equilibrium point of moisture when it's outdoors in our climate. So considering 2 weeks ago, this had a moisture content of about 30%. Being 17% now, that's incredibly dry comparatively. So why don't we start laying these out? So I got 9 of these slats, whatever you're supposed to call them, and 2 of these longer ones. So I milled these at 270 centimeters. So let's just split that evenly by 9 to start with. Actually, let's offset that by 5 centimeters. Now, I made these 80 centimeters long. Now, it happens so that the battens on our siding, the ones I want to attach these to, are 64 centimeters apart. So that means I need to come in 8 centimeters from each side in order to have these centered. So let's add a mark for that. Time to fasten. You'll notice these nails are longer than these 2 are thick. And that's a feature, not a bug. I'm just going to put an extra one of these under so we don't nail it into the bench. Just aligning the mark on these ones, I'm just putting above, and then I'm centering this below. Notice I skipped 2 of these battens, and that's on purpose. I'm going to put some spacer blocks on the back side of those. But for now, let's just bend over these nail heads. And yes, that's the feature, not a bug thing, because this is just going to make sure they never come out. Crude, but effective. So I've made some of these spacers, and the only reason I didn't already attach them while I was nailing all the rest is because I forgot to make these. But now I have them, so let's attach them. Yeah, downside of working with green wood and spruce, it's a lot of resin in it. Paint thinner on a rag gets most of it off easily. I was initially going to hang it in the air so I could access all sides without having to touch it to get access to the other side and flip it over and stuff, but I ended up not doing that. I rolled out some wax paper and started painting it on the bench instead. And there we are. We got 1 coat of paint on it. I might just leave it at 1 coat, or we'll see. It's also going to be interesting to see. So I just want to see how these pitch pockets, see how the paint interacts with them. Like, because this is a good opportunity. Like when you're building stuff for yourself, that's a good opportunity to break the rules. Unfortunately, I can't show you as I'm mounting it because I lost the footage for that. As I was sitting down yesterday to edit the video, I realized there was no footage. So mounting this was very straightforward. All I did was, starting with these spacer blocks, I pre-drilled in them because I'm using slightly bigger nails for this, and then just held it in place and hammered it in here, just nailing straight into these battens on the house facade. I think that's just about it for this time. I'm happy with this and like how it turned out. It's going to be interesting to see how it holds up over time. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Now, I have a few more garden woodworking projects coming up soon, and some gates. I'm going to build a timber frame duck shelter, and there are some fine woodworking contents coming up too, so do stay tuned for that, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.